All right, what's up, everybody? We are on the second episode of Mushoku Tensei, which is called Master. I myself just got off of watching the first episode, which I enjoyed it for what it was. You know, it's still something that is completely new to me. This is the first time I'm watching any of the anime in the isekai genre, I think it's called. Um, but for what it was, like, it was just a really enjoyable 20 minutes. You know, the episodes are, of course, short, and normally with anime, well, they still feel long because there's a lot for you to take in. I didn't really feel that way with this, and that's not in any way meant as like a bad thing, me saying that. It's just like it was a little easier to take everything in, and I just was able to focus a little bit more on sort of actually enjoying the ride rather than solving a certain puzzle or trying to make sense of it all or whatever, right? Yes, there is some sexually suggestive stuff. I think that's what they call fan service all the time, right? It's definitely in here, and the main character. Did we actually find out what he used to be called in the real world? Because as a baby now they call him Rudy, but I don't know if he had a different name then. I assume so in the real world, but I guess he doesn't even remember it himself anymore. Anyway, I'm just gonna call him Rudy then, right? But yes, he is a little outspoken in. Well, I can't even call it outspoken because it's literally his thoughts that we're currently hearing, right? And the thoughts that he have can be definitely quite interesting sometimes. I really wonder because with so many people pointing out to me how his character is a character that some seem to actually have despised, at least for a while in the show. Like, I wonder if we're going to see his process of actually growing up, and if he does turn out to be a lot more sort of openly, outspokenly, the way that he seems right now on the inside, right? Because I'm the kind of person that, like, you know, I talked about this already in the premiere episode, but for example, in my mind, I can make sort of the harshest jokes, but that's not to say that I do that stuff on the outside all the time, right? Like, I keep those things usually to myself. I don't really mind it when other people are more outspoken about it, I guess, but of course, there is a limit, right? And I think for me, just the type of personality that I am, I don't really like drawing attention to myself in the first place. Talked about that too in the last episode, but like, I'm still a huge introvert at the end of the day myself. And so that's probably why I tend to keep all those things to myself, because I just don't want the trouble. You know what I mean? But there's other people who kind of much more easily look for the trouble. And I can actually sort of appreciate that most of the time, you know, as long as they don't go too far. Of course, there's always a limit, right? And that stuff can get very annoying, and it can get very, like I don't know. There's always sort of a fine line between where I can sort of detect if a person is just making jokes as a coping mechanism, or if they're just constantly making remarks because they're actually kind of a shitty person. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how I'm going to feel about that regarding this show, or if it's even a relevant conversation to have. We're going to find out about all of that. Yeah, the genre in itself, it's interesting because this reincarnation type deal, right? Which Rudy himself, of course, openly talks about it, and he ended up in this fantasy setting, which is interesting. Like, we're not in the real world anymore, but it is somebody who who came in there with real world experience. It reminds, like, the only thing that I've played or experienced that's anywhere like this is that I played the game Forspoken literally a couple of months back, only a small part because it wasn't really a great game. And the main character in there, man, yeah, kind of annoying, but not something I would recommend. But it's like, it's actually what it reminds me of right now the most. But again, this appears to be a genre, right? And so I guess that there's actually a lot more stories that would be very similar to this in terms of their setup. Of course, it would be their execution that I'm gonna guess would turn out to be quite differently. But it's kind of the only reference material that I myself have as a newcomer to the genre. And so it's been interesting to be able to make that comparison. Of course, we left off with Rudy basically getting introduced to his tutor, who's called Roxy, right? The purple-haired wizard. That's also like just funny how Rudy literally openly talks about, or, you know, again, it's something on his mind, right? Like, oh, I expected some kind of old wizard with a gray beard or whatever, and I'm like the exact same, because all that I'm thinking of is like, oh, look, this is just like Lord of the Rings. It's Gandalf showing up. And so I find all that really cool. Like, it's actually genuinely relatable from a real world standpoint. So for now, it's been the first episode was a great ride, and I'm looking forward to seeing where we go from here. Guys, if you enjoy my reactions to Mushoku Tensei, then of course make sure you subscribe to the channel first of all. Hit the notification bell as well, so you won't be missing out on any of my future reactions. The next 8 episodes are already going to be available straight away over on my Patreon page, which is going to be linked on top of the description. Over there, we'll already be on episode 10. So go and check all that out. Full-length reactions will be up there too if you want to see me react to the episodes in their entirety. But for now, let's dive into the second episode of Mushoku Tensei. Here we go. Oh no, oh no, no, no. I could tell straight away what this was. They really don't beat around the bush. Was this him? Was this Rudy? Coca-Cola. Oh shit. Who are these guys? They collecting rent? Oh, dude, this is what... Right, I guess those are the 2 guys they talked about that made it out. Oh, he even tried to protect them. Well, that was... Okay, well, that was a good thing that he did. Admirable. Cool, the parents just keep going, man. Well, I don't know if that would be a good thing. You'd just be making remarks about your own sister too, probably. Oh no. Oh man. Yo. God. 見て見ぬふりをする情けが俺にも存在した。You're such a good kid. ロキシーが来て半年ほど経った。ロキシーはいい教師だ。授業は面白く楽しい。6 months already, huh? 今はロキシーとの夜の座学中。おっと、夜のってついているからってエロいことをするわけじゃないぞ。Okay, it's definitely getting heavier on this subject matter. Oh man. Are people catching on yet? Will they ever find out where he actually came from? A demon? The super spared? That's how she pronounced it. Laplace War? その争いの中で彼らスペルド族は敵味方、女子供関係なしに虐殺を繰り返し暴れ回ったそうです。子供の頃よく言われたものです。I love how there's always that sort of history. Oh my god, it's like a zombie. Yeah. Kinda reminded me of the Great Titan War. Yeah, you better. 私の髪は光の加減でその緑色に見えなくもないんです。先生の髪は綺麗ですよ。ありがとうございます。でもそういうことは将来好きな子ができると言ってあげてください。I think he's already doing it right now. Yeah, exactly. そうですか。あと10年経って考えが変わらなかったらもう一度言ってください。He would still be underage then, wouldn't he? Well, there you go. I guess it was good for something after all. Wow. He's really getting good at this stuff. Look at this, man. Holy shit. Fire and water, or what was that? What? Did they just pull out mobile phones? Okay, it's just the memory that he has. Damn. I don't think what he saw is actually what happened. At least here, like they didn't have those phones, of course. Yeah, see, they were just playing with some grass, whatever, corn. I guess he sort of became reclusive more as a consequence of being bullied, perhaps, than in school or something. I guess we'll be going there eventually. Why is he not willing to go? Is that just his natural inclination of like staying home? That's what he meant with that? From his previous life? Man, we keep doing the time skips. Oh, okay. You're an adult at 15 already. Shit, so Roxy's comment did make sense, I guess. Oh no, oh dude, what the hell? He's just swallowing the sword. Yeah, I guess he's not used to birthday parties. What's that? Okay, like a mini staff? Yeah, like a wand, kind of. He's surpassed her already. Graduation exam. Yeah, and then it's time for the next step. But I'm guessing Rudy doesn't even really want the next step. Man. They tied him up naked? He was already naked in the school as we saw him too. Damn. That's the thing, you can't really blame him for being the type of personality that he was with this upbringing. Yeah, see? He still has that inside of him from his real life experience. That's so funny, because the first episode ended with him saying like, oh yeah, I'm finally gonna make something of my life, and then it's like, nope, your personality is still holding you back. I find that kind of relatable, man. Man. He's constantly seeing it now. Yeah. He's literally just being pushed outside of his comfort zone right now. You're not that important.
俺は何を恐れてたのだろう。こんなのどかな村で誰が俺をバカにするというのか。
They don't know your history either.
たった2年で村に馴染んでいる。
気持ちいいですね。これから私は水星級魔術を使います。
What level was Saint? Like 4?
しっかりと見て覚えて使ってください。雄大なる水の精霊にして天に上がりし雷帝の王子よ、賠償なる存在に力を見せつけよ。神なる金槌を金床に打ちつけて意図を示し、大地を水で埋め尽くせ。
Damn. This is definitely the most intense thing we've seen yet. Wow. Oh shit! She just hit the horse. That's not like part of the test, is it? I was gonna say.
このことは内緒でお願いしますね。安心してください。言ったりしませんので。お願いします。
It's just like the tree all over again.
カラバッチョは私が守っておきます。
卒業試験、つまり家庭教師がこれで終わりだということだ。
雄大なる水の精霊にして天に上がりし雷帝の王子よ。
そうなれば今日が最後だ。
Was he just supposed to repeat it?
もっといろいろ話して。
Damn. Holy shit. I'm surprised how large of an area that he can already like affect. Like, is he supposed to get even more powerful than this in a few years? See, he literally surpassed her. Saint level water mage.
ロキシーちゃん、まだうちにいてもいいのよ。教えてないお料理もいっぱいあるし。
Even the parents don't want it to leave now anymore.
ありがたい申し出ですが、しばらくは世界を旅しながら改めて魔術の腕を磨くつもりです。
そうか、まあなんだ。
I'm sure we're gonna see her back at some point.
息子が自信を失わせてしまったようで。
パウロよ、そういう言い方
But I guess this is the end for her for now.
精一杯頑張ったつもりですが、ではそろそろ。
Man, Rudy's mom is such an emotional character. She's either incredibly excited or incredibly sad. What are you gonna do, dude? She's supposed to leave.
彼女には本当にいろんなものをもらった。知識、経験、技術。そして何より俺を外に出してくれた。
Yeah, exactly.
外に出た。ただそれだけ。
Yeah, well, that can be a big thing.
それは間違いなく俺のトラウマだった。彼女はそれを直してくれた。狙ってやったことじゃない。
Like, the smallest things for some people can be the biggest obstacles to others, you know?
尊敬しよう。あの小さな少女。
That's nice, man.
と思ったら、
Oh, cool.
数ヶ月前に盗んだロキシーのパンツがありました。ごめんなさい。
Just when I was about to say, like, oh, this show is so nice. It still is, don't get me wrong. I feel like that's just going to be a pattern that we're going to be following with every episode that we watch, is that it ends and it kind of just puts a smile on your face, you know? And you're like, oh man, I don't know. But like, I had that feeling now twice in a row, at least, being like, that was so nice, honestly. Yes, you still end up with that joke there, but still, there's a really sort of hopeful tone or vibe to this show constantly, right? And you can see it already. I really don't quite understand. I keep going back to it, but like from the things I heard and the people sort of warning me and preparing me, and some people saying they outright hated the main character. I mean, I don't really understand why. You know, like yes, and I go back to it once again, but like his constant, you know, sexual remarks or whatever, right? Like they like it's a part of the show, right? It's gonna keep coming back, no doubt. Like we're gonna get that a couple of times every single episode, but he's still, I feel like he still, again, has the right intentions at heart, right? And ultimately it's about your actions more than it is about your thoughts, I feel personally. So I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Of course, this episode really delved more into the backstory for Rudy himself too, and like what his life was actually like as a regular human being. And we see there that there was reason for the type of lifestyle that he led, I think. I mean, of course, he was probably naturally inclined already to be that reclusive basement-dwelling nerd, whatever you want to call it. But still, there was a lot of trauma there too that made it all the worse, probably, right? And we saw that he was like apparently bullied, and they tied him up there naked or whatever, and they made fun of him, and they were literally standing outside of their his house, screaming and you know, just bullying him and stuff. So it's yeah, I don't know, it's fucked up. And I find once again, I find some elements of this so relatable, also for myself, if I'm going to be entirely honest about it, right? But that thing that he talks about going outside, you know, like to some people that's the simplest thing in the world, you know, like just going outside and doing certain things or whatever. Whereas to others, that can truly be an obstacle. Now, I'm not saying that, like, again, if I'm being honest about myself, for example, I said this already during the first episode, but I myself am a huge introvert at the end of the day. And so going outside, like, I guess the way it works for me is like, I naturally never really feel an inclination to. You get what I'm saying? But then when I do it, I always feel good about it. That sounds really perhaps weird and stupid, but I feel like this is actually going to be very relatable probably to some people watching this video too. But like, naturally speaking, again, you don't feel that inclination, but when you do it, you're very satisfied with it. Or just going to do, you know, certain, I don't know, social activities, this or that. I never feel like it in the moment, but anytime I do it, I'm happy that I did. But still, I noticed that too, that like other people have to push me sometimes to do those things, because I myself, I'm not going to be the one instigating it. And the exact same thing here happened with Rudy, and that's why he was so thankful at the end of the day for Roxy and for introducing him to that wider world, right? And realizing that not everybody was looking at him. That's the other thing. But like as a human, you're always so self-aware, right? And you're constantly thinking about everybody must be looking at me, and oh, what if I fuck up? What if I do this wrong? What if people can see me? This and that. But the thing is, everybody's literally like that. People are always just minding their own business. They're not all that preoccupied with what's happening around them. How much do you still remember about like random people that you've seen on the street? You don't think about them. Nobody does. You know, like people only think about themselves at the end of the day. It's just how we're kind of programmed, right? At least for the most part. So all those things are just like mental, you know, hurdles in your head. But it shouldn't be a reason for you not to do certain things, but it still ends up being that. And so in that way, I like how this episode at least really touched on that. And I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, where else it's going to go. And if that's going to continue to be, I guess, sort of a theme moving forward. For now, guys, I really hope you enjoyed my reaction and review to episode 2 of Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. If you did, then of course you can already watch my reactions to the next 8 episodes straight away over on my Patreon page, which is going to be linked on top of the description. Go and check it out. Your support is very much appreciated, and that is ultimately what allows me to make these videos in the first place. So keep that in mind. Full-length versions will be up there too if you want to see me react to the episodes in their entirety. And then with that being said, I want to thank you all a lot for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you back in the next episode.